She has a powerful voice, she's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Of course, I'm talking about Janelle Elliott, who is actually talking to the Brazilian Tomb Raider community for the very first time. Woo-hoo! My queen, my beautiful queen, how are you?
What an entrance.
What
Thank
an entrance.
So
this is all
much.
for you. You deserve that. All that love.
I'm not worthy.
Oh, yes. How are you, my queen? How is everything?
I am all the better for speaking to you right now. That's for sure, Edgar. How are you, more importantly?
I'm actually over the moon. You have no idea. This is actually a dream coming true. I could never imagine that one day I will be talking to Lady Croft herself. Angel of Darkness, Lady Croft herself.
It's been a long time in the making, hasn't it? I think we've been thinking about this for the last 3 years. And then just trying to find the time. And thankfully, here we are.
Here we are.
I'm so happy, Edgar, to actually, engage with your TR community over there in Brazil.
I appreciate it. And this is the moment where I really want to thank you for dedicating this moment, not only for me, but for the Brazilian Tomb Raider community. You have no idea. You have loads of fans here. And I really hope they enjoy this as much as we will, because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, it is. It's so lovely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So this is, I believe this is a good moment to open the interview. Opening a space for you so you can talk about yourself, your career. Please, feel free, my queen. This moment is totally yours.
Well, it all started quite early on in my life, actually. I was about 6 years old when I decided I wanted to be an actress.
No.
So, those times when the teacher goes around the class and sort of gets you to stand up on your chair and, announce to the class what you think you might want to do in your later life. Well, for me, it was acting, and I don't really know why, Edgar. I think, I really like dressing up. I like make-believe. I loved going to the theatre, and I started dancing lessons at 7 years old. I was doing ballet and tap and jazz, and then that progressed to drama lessons at the weekends. And then I started doing some local shows, some summer shows, and some professional pantomimes when I was 10 or 11. And then at 13, I went to drama school in London. It was a drama school called Italia Conti, and I had to audition. And I remember at the time there was like 4,000 applicants and just 22 places. So I didn't hold much hope for myself, but I gave it my best shot, and then I got a place.
Yes!
And that was really, really exciting at the time, because I was only young, only 13. And of course, I got to do half-day schoolwork, so that was a bonus. Half-day schoolwork, and then the rest of the day doing drama, singing and dancing. So what could be better than that? I was in my element. And while I was there, apart from working hard, I got a couple of jobs because the drama school had an agency. So I did a couple of TV jobs, and I suppose that gave me my first bite of, doing something really professional. And on leaving Italia Conti, I was there for 5 years. At 18, I left and I pursued dancing to get my equity card. And I went dancing in Italy. I was with a jazz group, and, we toured, and I came back with the equity card. And from there on, I was like, okay, I need to get back down to earth now. I need to get a proper job. So I actually did a sound engineering course in a studio in Camden. I don't know, Camden's like a real hub it's a part of London where there's a lot of studios, recording studios, and MTV was there. And before MTV, there was a big TVAM. So it was a real kind of hub for all that kind of stuff. And I managed to, while I was doing the course, I managed to get myself this job at a place called Video Sonics, and they did sound for TV and radio. And it was while I was there that one day, I was just making tea and answering the phones, and my boss came in and was like, you know what, Cartoon Network are in and they need a voiceover, like now. And I was like, okay. And he was like, well, I said that you can do the job. And I was like, oh, okay. I'll go in there.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd love to do it, of course. And I went in and I did this job, and they really liked me. And then they gave me a few other jobs while I was at this job, this recording studio job. And the producer that I worked with at Cartoon Network was like, I think you're pretty good at this. I'm going to recommend you to an agent. And so he recommended me to an agent, and I had a little chat with her, and she was like, yeah, I've actually got a little opening for someone of about your age. And at the time I was 21. And she took me on, and I started getting voiceovers. And it got to the point where my boss and his wife were like, I think you better leave this job now because you started to get too much work, because I'm nipping off in the lunch breaks and, trying to make it up in some overtime. And and also while I was at the recording studio, I was also involved in music as well. And I had a little record deal, and I ended up doing 2 singles, and I went on a little radio tour as well. So I had my fingers in quite a few pies.
Yeah.
And I also did a part-time. I went back and studied at this school called Central School of Speech and Drama. I was doing like a little evening course, and I did that for a year. And I ended up meeting some other actors on the course and getting involved. We made our own theatre company, and we went up to the Edinburgh Festival. And one of the guys had written a couple of plays, and we put those on. And on the strength of that, of the reviews, I got myself a theatrical agent as well. I went down that route as well. So I was doing a bit of everything, a bit of voiceovers, some acting work, singing. So, I mean, I loved all that stuff, but it was really the voiceovers that took off the most for me. And
this is incredible.
Where I am today, and still doing voiceovers, still working in the industry, doing commercials, animations, corporates, commercials for advertising agencies, you name it, I'll do it. And I love what I do. It's such a fantastic career. I've been doing it now for over 30 years. Can you believe it? I'm so old.
No, you're classic. Classic,
vintage.
Vintage.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
I can see, the passion in your eyes and your voice when you speak about your career. And it's so interesting to see that you worked as an actress. Like, you started first as an actress, and then you went to voiceovering. And
I think when I started doing voiceovers, there wasn't really that many agencies, and it was kind of like actors were a bit like, it was such a small industry, and I think actors were sort of more interested in doing acting parts, and voices was just this little thing that would earn you an extra few quid. But for me, it was just like I was a jobbing voiceover artist, so I was doing like 5 or 6 jobs a week, or sometimes more, back in my day, because I was always available. I was, not one of those big time actors who was over in the States filming, or on some big theatre tour. So I was always around. So that put me in good stead to get lots of voiceover jobs.
That's amazing. That's amazing, May Queen. And in fact, everything that you mentioned is actually related to the acting skills, because when you're acting, of course, you have to make all that performance using body, the eyes, the message, the tone on your voice. But when you're doing voiceover, and you have to use everything, but you have to put it in your voice. We have to feel how you're standing and how you're actually thinking and feeling. Everything through the voice. So it's kind of magical. It's kind of magical.
And you know what the good thing is about it, Edgar, is that, you can get to play lots of different character roles as well, because, you don't get to see your face. So, you get to, do some good character voices, and you can play different age ranges. So that's really interesting for me as well.
That's
it brings
interesting.
fun to it.
So I suppose I don't know. Maybe it already happened, but you were walking on the street. Someone listened to your voice, and do I know you? Your voice sounds familiar. I believe that
No, I
already
don't think I've
happened.
ever had that, Edgar.
Oh, really? Because it happened as Lara
because
Croft.
that's part of doing voiceovers is you are completely anonymous.
Yeah.
It's only through social media in the last few years that people have got to know who I am because of Lara Croft. But I mean, ordinarily without that, no one would ever know who I was. They probably hear me on their TV screens, every night, or have done in the past, but no one would ever know who I was. So, and I quite like that. I quite like that.
It's kind of a mystery as well.
Yeah. I get to be private, but I get to do lots of good things.
That's
enjoying
awesome.
what I do.
I actually thought about this question because I say this with loads of passions and also with all the respect, but I can recognize your voice in a mile away. Like if I listen to your voice, I know someone is actually or playing Tomb Raider or watching something that you work at, because I know that voice. Your voice is unique. Your voice is unique and it's powerful. I didn't lie at the beginning of the interview. It's so unique. So yeah, I mean, congratulations for your career, because you're so wonderful. You're such a great artist. Congratulations.
It's not something that I really went out there to pursue. I kind of fell into it, which is amazing. It's been a dream come true. But yeah, it was not something I actively went out to find.
I see.
But yeah, it served me well. I've had fun and I've got paid. So
which is important.
Paid doing what I love. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that.
Oh, that's amazing. We have such a lovely photo where we can see all classic Lara together. Shelley Blond, Judith Gibbons, and of course, the queen of this interview. Was that the first time you met each other? Because that photo is such a massive present for the Tomb Raider fans. Like, I want to put that photo in my collection to worship every day, because that's so iconic.
It is a great photo. It's lovely for me as well. That was such a brilliant day, because we all got together, we were all working together. Judith I'd never met before, but it was an absolute joy to meet her. So easy to get along with, really good sense of humour. Shelley I've known for 30 years. Because Shelley and I actually met doing a show in the West End, and we were in Elvis the Musical, and we were both the girls dancing, playing. We played the Beverly Sisters. We were Elvis's girls on stage, fanning him. And Shelley and I shared a dressing room. So, we had so much fun together. We had a real giggle doing that. So, yeah, Shelley and I go way back.
This is something that I knew that you were actually friends, but probably some Brazilian fans didn't know about this, so I really would like to bring this subject, because come on, we have you and Shelley as friends for 13 years, and it was almost like occasionally she was the first Lara Croft, like the very first Lara Croft.
To be honest with you, we were actually working together when she got that job.
Oh,
when
really?
when she got Tomb Raider, and I remember her coming into me before a show and saying, "Yeah, I've just done this audition, and it's for this new computer game." And Shelley and I had done a few sort of like CD-ROM games, and it was really sort of the beginning of that whole industry blowing up. And yeah, she was really excited. She was like, "Oh yeah, it's like really feisty character. She is the main character of this new game." but she's kind of like a man in a sense, because she's so tough and strong. And, I was like, oh my God, this sounds like the perfect, like the dream role. And I was so pleased for her. And then she was like, yeah, the next time I saw her, she came in the dressing room, she was like, I got the part. And we were like jumping up and down, and I was so pleased for her. We were sharing a dressing room. There was 4 of us girls, and there was 5 of us girls. And we had a real hoot.
Oh, that's actually amazing, because this is so coincidence for us, the fans. Like the very first Laura, and then a few years later, you were chosen.
I know. I honestly, that is just so unbelievable. That 3 years later, 3 years down the line, I happened to get offered the part as well, and that was purely through a producer that I'd been working with, a guy called Phil Morris, and I'd worked on a couple of CD-ROM games called City of Lost Children and Dr. Moreau's Island. And he'd mentioned to my agent that, they were looking for a new Lara Croft, and that my voice, he thought it was pretty much perfect for the part. But he also said to my agent, oh, there's loads of, famous actresses going up for the part. And I was just like, oh, I'm just not going to get this, And I went in and I just read it, did my best, and forgot about it. I mean, just completely forgot about it, because I just thought that's not mine. And then I was just so shocked when I got offered the role.
Wow.
And I remember phoning Shelley up and going, oh my God, I've been offered it. I'm like, do you mind? I was a bit like, should I do it? Like, I felt a bit guilty in a sense as well, because it was like, this had been her role. But then, of course, there'd been Judith in between that. And she was like, Johnny, she's so sweet and generous. Johnny, just go for it. I'm so happy for you. You've got to do it. And, she was just
God, this is
sweet about it.
This is incredible for us, because we had no idea of all these coincidences and how things actually happens in life.
Yeah, I know. Wow. Bizarre, isn't it?
We, the fans, we usually love to share our experiences playing Tomb Raider, because it's an adventure game full of puzzles and mystery and jump scares. Like a mummy blasting all the way through your face, and you have to deal with the enemy and the evil within the tomb. And now I would like to ask you, Dad, how was your experience when you were working in Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation?
Well, I mean, obviously it was so exciting because it was my first foray into the game, and it was a little bit daunting, because I was obviously filling very big shoes that had already been filled by 2 amazing actresses. But it was great because there was this, 2 parts of Lara. I got to play teenage Lara, and obviously I got to play adult Lara as well. So it was like I had 2 parts. So that was quite exciting. So, obviously, I played her a little bit softer, a little bit cheekier, a bit more tenacity. And then, then I got to play, the much sassier version of Lara. And in fact, I know Shelley always says to me, oh, you've got to do so much more with the character. You were a lot more sarcastic, and, you had kind of a bit more to do than she did. And I think, as the games progressed, she just got sort of bigger and a much larger character, So, I mean, it was really exciting. I mean, I got to play with Kerry Shale, who I knew already because we were with the same agent, and I'd already worked with him a few times, and I knew what a good character actor he was, and he was going to be absolutely perfect to play Bonnie Croy. And it was just so brilliant working with him. He was a real laugh. And then, the whole thing was just so sweet. I mean, we did it in about a week, so it wasn't long. It wasn't a long job, but intense. That week was intense. We'd go in 9 o'clock, work till 6, get through the script, and we just, and then of course, once you do all the scenes, then you've got to do the Waller Bank, which is all the screaming and all the interactions and all those sort of things. So that was really cool to do as well, because I'd never actually done that before. So that was great.
Like sounds of Lara being heated and hit,
Yeah.
get damaged
Yes.
and fall to her death.
Yeah, like I remember having to do underwater as well, and that was like they were giving me glasses of water, and I was having to say my lines while I was drinking water. That was, spitting it out across the studio. It's just bizarre. I was thinking, I can't believe I'm getting paid to do this. It's just like, this is very weird. But,
I believe this is something that you can only do when you actually playing video game characters or maybe movies, because this is so specifically. So specifically. That's actually so interesting to know that.
Yeah.
So you worked in The Last Revelation in 1999.
Yeah.
And you were reading the script, doing all your performances, and then we had Tomb Raider Chronicles in 2000. Yeah. And how was this experience comparing to The Last Revelation? And I asked that because The Last Revelation is the biggest Tomb Raider game ever made.
Yeah.
And then we have, it is the biggest. It's very long. There's so many levels.
See, I would know this because I'm not a gamer, so I've never actually played games. I mean, I've got the games here and I can't get through because I'm rubbish. I can't play for coffee. So, so that's interesting.
So you can have an idea, Tomb Raider The Last Revelation, if you know exactly what you do in the game, in every single moment, you will probably spend about 9 or 10 hours playing the game.
Oh my God.
For a PS1 game, it's actually massive. So it's very long. But compared
you need a lot of caffeine to get through that.
Exactly. And comparing to Chronicles, which is so small, and comparing to Tomb Raider 1,
it was very short, wasn't it? Apparently, I don't know, but I've heard it was very short and it was quite somber, wasn't it? Because it was like she's probably dead.
Exactly. So how was your experience working with that? Like, oh my God, now I'm playing a dead character. So
I know, it was intriguing. It was intriguing, but obviously I got the script, so I knew she wasn't, she wasn't dead. But I mean, that's her in Chronicles. She was much more playful, I think, as well. Like, I mean, I love some of the cutscenes there in like the opera scene. I love dialogue and, her jumping on that chandelier. And I thought those scenes worked amazingly. And it's so funny because I didn't actually see all these scenes until a few years back because of social media.
Oh, wow.
Because I was never a gamer. So, I never really had friends who showed me the games. I didn't really had a few gaming friends, but that they might not be playing Tomb Raider. I don't know. But I just never seen any of those scenes. So it's been so incredible to see those scenes.
Wow.
In the past few years through the fandom. So that, thanks to everybody out there that's let me get to see those for real.
Oh, every time you wish we can show you what you have done, because
it's too generous.
You made the childhood of so many, and I truly believe loads of fans, including myself, we really would like to show you what you have done, so you can have an idea of the magnitude of your work and how.
I love that about the fans as well. I've just got to say, the fans are incredible. I don't even call them fans. It's like the Tomb Raider community. It's like one big family. I get lots of gorgeous messages, and I love hearing each and every one of your stories about how Tomb Raider affected your life or how Tomb Raider came into your life. And so many of you, it comes from childhood. Yes. And I get really touched by those messages. They're very special, very special.
You have no idea how special you are for us, because come on, The Last Revelation Chronicles, and then Angel of Darkness, the beginning of Lara Croft in the PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
this is something big.
So different, so different. I absolutely loved Angel of Darkness, I have to say, because I do love that dark side as well. Yeah, and everybody always says to me, in voiceovers, "Oh, you've got such a happy voice, and you're always like good at doing the happy stuff." And so it's really good to sort of do this evil part of Lara.
Exactly.
She was a lot, harder. The script was, the script was epic. I mean, it was very filmic. It was like a Bible. There was a lot to get through, and it was very, very dark. But the scenes were really meaty. Some really good, strong characters in there. I absolutely loved that whole premise of did she, didn't she kill Verna? That was great. Yeah, I really enjoyed. I mean, when I saw it, and how they shot it and everything, how dark it was, and all that rain and Paris, and I was blown away.
Yes.
Really.
Angel of Darkness is gothic from head to toes.
I know it's a bit like Marmite for people. a lot of people like, it has its lovers and its haters, but I really enjoyed doing it, and I thought the script was incredible. Murty Schofield, obviously, you obviously know Murty. I've met him so many times, and I absolutely love him. I adore him. He wrote a cracking script.
He did.
And Eric and I had so much fun. Obviously Eric Loren.
Yes.
Yeah, we still see each other as well. We don't live that far away. In fact, Shelley and Eric, we live not that far away from each other, which is really lovely. We get to see each other, so that's nice.
So you have this opportunity to have some tea with Curtis.
Yes, we do.
And with
tea,
the very first Lara.
Yes, tea and cakes. Yeah,
My
lovely.
Goodness, this is so epic. And this is something that I was curious about. For example, Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation was the first time you were working as Lara Croft.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I have to tell Shelley, because this is such an important character, and she's already so great. And The Last Revelation is actually a game that is, it tells loads of things about Lara Croft's story, like her background. Because you can see her as a teenage, and then she grew up. And
yeah.
at the end of the script, we have this idea that she's probably dead.
Yeah.
How was your feeling when you discovered that at the end of the script? Like, come on, I just got the job, and now you kill the
Hang on
character.
a minute. Yeah, exactly. I was like, hang on a second. I'm ready to start this job. I want a bit more, thank you. Oh, thought it would run forever, darling. No. I mean, it just made it all the more interesting, that there was this, dark side to it. But like I say, Chronicles, I even though it was a short game, I just think Lara she just played out beautifully. That lovely playful side of her.
Mm-hmm.
I love the costumes in that as well.
Oh, totally. Me too.
Yeah.
When you work in The Last Revelation, Chronicles, and Angel of Darkness, do you have a strong memory about something cool or interesting that happened during the process between those three games?
Do you know what? I just mention Joss Ackland. He was an absolute legend. I mean, I was a little bit nervous when he came in because he was such a big actor.
Wow.
And such a great character actor, and with such a commanding voice. I mean, just that voice would have you shaking in your boots, But he was so good, so professional, but such a lovely man. And I really enjoyed working with him as well. Alongside him. I mean, you've probably seen the photos of me sat next to him. And I remember looking at his fingernails. He had really long fingernails. I was like, oh, he's kind of really getting into the part of Eckhart.
Yes.
He's grown his nails.
Yes.
So the part. And he had long white hair, and he looked quite formidable. But he was such a gentleman. Lovely.
Actually, this is one of the reasons why I always loved Angel of Darkness, because the acting, the level of acting of everyone, you knew exactly what you were doing, because everything was in the right tone, everything was in the right message, interpretation. You knew exactly how to say that line when we see Lara and Eckhart about to fight at the end of the game. And we have that amazing voice for Eckhart. And he says,
I hunted down and killed the last of the Lux Veritatis. I am immortal. The shards.
Scary, huh? For you.
It is my destiny to breathe hell on earth. You are nothing to me.
Do you know, it's gonna be a real pleasure to shut you up.
Yeah, baby! Yeah! That's awesome! That's like how
I'm going to get
amazing.
best last line, thank you.
Yeah!
Eckhart.
Of course, Lara Croft is like a massive character. She is known for the whole world. And back in the day, when she was actually creating her legacy, when you were there in the studio recording the voices and reading the script, did you feel something different when you voiced Lara comparing to other jobs you did before? Like, Lara Croft is different because of that.
Well, yeah, because she was a real character. I mean, I'm trying to think what I was doing around the same time. I mean, I was doing a cartoon series called Angelina Ballerina around that point. And of course, I was playing like little mice voices.
Mice voices.
Little mice voices. So it's all very high pitched, So I was doing that. And then I was probably doing commercials and stuff, which just needs, a bit more of a selling voice. They probably hate it if you said selling voice now because they just want you to sound like as normal as possible. But, it was very different because like we were saying earlier, it was like a proper character in a script.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, all hail to the producers and core design and everything, they really prepped as well. So we really had lived the characters, felt we'd lived and breathed them before we actually even started the process. They were very clear about what they wanted, but then, we've got to be a little bit more playful with the characters as well, because I know Shelley Adore said, they just told me what to do and I had to do what they said, but I think I did get a little bit of sway in her character. But yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
It could sound like a simple question, but for us fans to know everything like that and how do you feel and everything, it's so magical. So again, thank you again for sharing all this experience with us.
Also the good thing is with voiceovers, if you do a take, and you're not happy with it, you can do it again.
You can do it again.
It's not like in theatre where you've got to get one shot, You have to get it right, So, yeah.
How great is that? Angel of Darkness has a lot of bright sides, and one of them is the story. Thank you to Murty Scottfield. He's amazing. It was supposed to be the first chapter of a trilogy. It was supposed to be the first.
No. Yeah, I know that was mentioned, and I know that Murty had so many stories inside his head. That is for sure. And I there were big plans for it, but then it just went off in a totally different direction. And obviously that was the end of me and the beginning of Keeley. And that is so bizarre as well, because I ended up being able to pass the baton to Keeley in a way, because we did a commercial together.
No way.
A visual commercial, and she was the star, obviously, and I was playing the makeup artist in the commercial. It was for a big, well-known chain of chemists. And
you told her that you were Lara Croft.
I told her, I said, I just hear you've been taken on as the new Lara. And I said, I was the Lara that just did the last 3 games. And she was like, no. So we had a moment. We shared a moment on the set.
This is so cool.
We had a Lara moment. I know, isn't it weird how there's all these kind of, the synchronicity of it all. There's like, Shelley and, and then meeting Keeley as well.
Totally. I'm getting to the conclusion that Tomb Raider is actually a magical thing.
It's a very strange magical thing, yes.
It's a very magical thing. We can't explain those phenomena because, come on, this is so amazing. My idea to ask you, do you remember some people from the Code Design team who had direct contact with the cast, if they shared something, for example, we are planning to make the sequel like this, like that, we are planning to explain how Curtis survived. And
I
things
can't
like
really
that.
remember, Edgar. It's such a long time ago. I can't really remember. I do remember sort of. We had a discussion actually, Eric and I, with Murty a couple of years ago about that. And yeah, there were big plans for it to carry on. I don't know whether that meant that Curtis and Lara would become an item. I don't think that would have ever happened.
Oh,
But certainly there was talk about him being in the next one and the next one. So, you know, maybe they were going to be a bit more of a partnership. But yeah, I think there's a lot of the fandom out there that, you know, really wish that there had been a bit more of an end to that.
yes. And I am one of them. I try every day wishing for a sequel. You have no idea how I adore you and Murty Scottfield. Like, when I was searching for Murty Scottfield and watching his interviews, and I visited his website to know what he was thinking.
Yeah.
Wow, what is that?
Yeah.
It's one of the most
So
epic
it's
adventures
so
for Lara. It's so
Yeah.
amazing. Wow. Wow.
Oh, well, we can live and dream. You know, I'm just forever grateful that I got to play her as long as I did. You know, I got to do 3 games. That, you know, it's more than I ever dreamed of. You know, just to do 1 would have been amazing, but to do 3 in a row, the trilogy was, yeah, fantastic.
My queen, you are a legend. Keep that in mind. You are a legend. You are.
I'm not. I'm just a girl who does voiceovers.
My queen, we have the information that when Core Design was actually promoting Angel of Darkness in 2003, you actually did a voice overing job as Lara Croft, but also a motion capture with
Yeah,
the video that you guys are watching right now in the screen. So all these movements are actually yours.
Yes,
How
that was
that?
really exciting. I got to go to LA for a start, so it was, you know, perfect to be able to go away for a voiceover and to LA, to Hollywood. So E3, yeah, they did this. You know about E3, obviously, it's this huge games convention, and Core Design got me to wear the motion capture suit, and I was behind in a little booth. The big cinema screen, and had a live audience which had like all the reporters, MTV, different TV stations, the fan base, and so I had to sort of think on my feet, and people just asked me questions right there and then, and it was quite scary because I was really worried that they were going to ask me some techie questions, but I had somebody from Core Design in the booth with me, just in case things got a little bit tense. But it was hugely enjoyable. And
So it was not recorded. You had to make like as a theater.
Yes, it was live. It was a live event.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
So it was quite scary, but exhilarating at the same time.
And how was to wear that outfit? It was I believe it's not comfortable.
Very hot.
Oh, I can tell.
Yes, I was like sweating buckets, but and also a little bit itchy because you've got all those like little balls on you, and they feel very, very strange. Like you've got hundreds of thousands of insects all over you.
I see.
But you know, it's got to suffer for your art.
I used to be made up of 500 polygons, but now I'm 5,000. What do you think of my new look? Thank you, Official PlayStation Magazine, for your support. I look forward to seeing all my fans this November. Bye for now.
What about, this is like a personal question now, about the bloopers, because we have in the internet video, which
The
is the
bloopers.
bloopers. Like, we have...
That was Breaking of Darkness.
Yeah, for Angel of Darkness, we could see Lara. Is that it? Oh, sorry, I thought it was a practice. Oh, we can do it once more, yeah? Like, was that scripted or was just...
That was not scripted at all. That was the outtakes. And I just remember it was quite a lot to learn. And I think I got it just a couple of days before. And, you know, yeah, so that, I was shocked when I saw that on YouTube, I think it was. Somebody alerted me to it, and I was just like, oh my God, who did that? Someone in the crew actually recorded that and put it together. And obviously they put it together, and there were some trickery bits in there. There was some stuff that I hadn't actually said. They'd, masterminded it, so it sounded, even funnier. But that was a real surprise. But the fans love it.
We love it. That's why I asked it if it was scripted or natural, because there is so many funny moments and funny lines in that.
Yeah.
That there is and specifically line that fans use in funny videos in the internet when it's about Tomb Raider, which is when you were there acting as Lara, and then you said,
Yes.
And I was like, yeah.
You know what? I've got to say, it'll go quiet on that, and then suddenly someone will bring it back and send it to me. No one's going to let me live that one down. But yeah, it's all good fun. I don't mind.
But I just decided to bring this just as a curiosity, because this is so fun to know, like this behind the scenes things. This is, oh my God, this is so amazing.
It was a giggle. It was a laugh.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to E3 2002. Unfortunately, I'm stuck in a very precarious situation here in Paris. But I wanted to take a few minutes to at least say hello and thank you all for your continued support, selling Eidos products, and particularly those starring me.
But now, I would like to ask something, which is a healthy comparative.
Okay.
What would you say that Lara Croft and you have in common? Of course, apart from being talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular.
Stop it now. Oh my goodness. I think we have got a sense of adventure, because I love traveling. I really love traveling. I haven't finished yet. There's so many places in the world that I want to see. But I also like a challenge. I'm a girl who likes a challenge.
So do you like extreme sports?
I mean, I have abseiled before.
Oh.
Yes. So that's quite a risky little business. I've done that. And I tell you what I did do. When I went to Mexico, I zip-wired across a big lake, which was full of crocodiles. That's brave. No?
Wow, this is so Lara Croft.
Yeah, it's quite Lara Croft.
Wow.
So, yeah. And yeah, I mean, I'm always like, I remember going to Thailand and jumping off the side of the boat, and swimming in deep waters. I'm quite, I am quite an adventurer. Yeah,
That's
I'd say.
Amazing. So
yeah, I've been to the Himalayas. I went to the Himalayas. I did a trek up there.
Oh.
Yeah, that
Did
was
you find
really
some
cool.
treasure or a temple or a
Wish. No, but I found some idyllic villages up in the mountains.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I do love traveling. So I'd say I've got that, curiosity about the world. Yeah.
You wonder about the world. That's amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, talking as Lara Croft, do you have a favorite quote from Lara, from the games you work at? Like, this quote is the most iconic. I love it. I use it all the time.
Which one? Which one do you like?
Oh, I love so many. If I had to choose, one from The Last Revelation, which is a dialogue, but no, that is from Chronicles and Angel of Darkness as well. Believe me. But The Last Revelation, there is a dialogue between Lara and Genevieve. And he said, be careful, Lara. I fear that things in the vault man was not meant to see.
Yes.
I'm not a man, John.
I know.
I love that.
I'm not a man. Yeah, I'm not a man.
It's amazing.
No, that is a good line. But I also like, I feel stronger now. I like that one. And I also love, because it makes me giggle, that the Tomb Raider fan base like this one is the, if I had a coconut for every lunatic that said something like that. I mean, what a weird line anyway.
Could you please, in order to make this moment eternal, could you repeat the quote for us?
If I had a coconut for every time some lunatic said something like that.
This is amazing. I really would like to talk to Murty and what you were thinking when you created.
I know, I
that
wondered what he was thinking, where he got that from.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The creative process.
It's a very unique line, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love it. I love it. So, in your games, Lara faces some epic enemies, such an Egyptian god, robots,
Yeah,
Seth, the chaos, the pure chaos, robots, a red ghost, and of course, an alchemist. Now,
Yeah.
if you were in Lara's shoes for real, which
Yeah.
enemy from those I mentioned you would pick up for a fight?
Oh, I think Eckhart.
Eckhart.
Yeah. Because he was pretty damn fierce, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and scary.
And
I
can imagine you
think so.
saying, Juno, it's gonna be a real pleasure to shut you up. I can imagine you saying this.
I said that to Shelley yesterday.
Yeah, and I really want to talk about that video. That was such a nice present for the fans.
Well,
If you
yeah.
guys don't know which video
You know
I'm talking about, it's
Oh.
playing now.
Well,
What?
yeah, do you know, we we wanted to get together and have a cup of tea together. But, also we were like, oh, Shelley's just got onto, Instagram. We want to do something fun together. So, yeah, we did have a giggle. I mean, she's brilliant. I love her to death.
And that was so nice to see because we were actually celebrating Laura's birthday recently.
I know, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. And then a few days later, we received that video. It was almost like a present for the fans, two Laura celebrating together. Like, yeah, that's
Do you know
what
what?
I'm talking
I
about.
had good intentions, actually. I wanted to come out on Valentine's Day and do a little something to camera, but the day just ran away with me. Yeah. So my daughter went off skiing that day, so I had to take her to the airport. And it was her first, big holiday.
Oh,
She's only 12. So, yeah. So that was a mosh. And then, of course, it was Valentine's Day, so I went out with my other half, with my man, and we had a romantic day. But yes, I should have done something on the Instagram.
but I love how you, if I may say, with all due respect, I love how you use Instagram to get in touch with the fans.
Yes.
To express your love, your idea, all your love for the fans.
So creative.
It's so great.
Yeah, but they're such a creative bunch of people, and I love hearing from them and seeing what they're doing.
And
I love it.
This is why I asked you about the enemy you would pick up for a fight if you were Lara Croft. Because after all, I have a friend here in Brazil. Her name is Sarah.
Yeah.
And she's very good in drawing. And she loves...
There's so many good artists out there, isn't there, on the fandom?
Yes. And
Yeah.
this is another coincidence because her favorite Tomb Raider is The Last Revelation.
Oh,
It was her first Tomb Raider, and she really would like to bring this idea of yourself as Lara Croft.
I love it.
She made a portrait of yourself as Lara Croft.
Can you send it to me?
Yes, of course. She will
Send
post
it to me and I'll post it.
Yeah, she will post on her Instagram and she will spot you so you can have an idea.
That is absolutely wicked. I love it. I love it, love it, love it.
This is the present I was actually keeping as a secret. And do you want what is funny? This drawing.
Spoiling me.
She made that drawing in 2021.
Oh.
When I mentioned that, like, oh, I've been working in an idea to bring Janelle to Brazil community with an interview.
No,
and she
I don't even on
drawing.
Instagram. Oh, bless her. I was only on Instagram for about a year then.
Yeah, I mean,
Long.
you have no idea how happy and blessed I feel. Because we've been preparing this moment for you for so many times, for so long. And now we are finally sharing this with you because you deserve this love, my queen.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be here.
This is totally for you, my queen. The
I
camera,
love it.
it's totally you in a Lara Croft style.
It's absolutely perfect. And I want it on my Instagram feed right now.
You will have it. You will have it. The final question that I kept as another surprise.
Ooh.
This question I wished to make to Lara Croft, but Lara Croft is just a character. So I want to ask this question for her actress. So what I would ask her is, if you could do anything in your life without taking any risks or consequences, what would you
Without
do?
taking any risks. Without taking any risks.
Risks and consequences. What would you do?
God. That's a tricky one. Dumped me there, Edgar. I've really got to think on my feet now. I don't know what to say.
Anything you wish, my queen. Anything you wish. Go to the moon. Ride a tomb.
Do you know what? I have never, no, you're never going to believe this. You're never going to believe this. I have never been to Egypt.
No way.
Way.
Oh,
And I want to go. I really desperately want to go. I'd love to see Luxor, like all those tombs. You know, I would absolutely love to go there. So yes, that's what I do.
You would like to go to Egypt.
That's my answer. Yes.
And I really hope you could have
To Lara's homeland.
Yeah.
I want to do my own last revelation, okay?
Oh.
What do you think?
I just want to
Good idea?
Yes, this is epic, guys. Keep in mind, take notes. This is epic. This is amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
My queen, our interview is close to the end. But again, I want to thank you for dedicating this moment.
Aw.
I wish you all the joy, love, glory for your career, for you, for your family. And to finish this interview with a golden key, I have a final challenge for you.
Okay.
I have a quote here with me, and I want you to try to say this quote in Brazilian Portuguese.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God.
But I'm here. I'm going to give you all the support to make it.
I'm going to really embarrass myself now.
No, you can, I'm pretty sure you can do it. I'm pretty sure you can do it. The quote is,
Okay, go on. Far away.
let's raid tombs, Brazil.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay, so how does it go in Brazilian?
In Brazilian Portuguese, it's vamos caçar tumbas, Brasil.
Vamos. We'll have to do it slowly.
Vamos caçar
Vamos caçar
tumbas, Brasil.
tumbas, Brasil.
Vamos caçar tumbas, Brasil.
Vamos caçar
Tumbas,
tumbas, Brasil.
Brasil. One more time. Vamos
Vamos
caçar
caçar
tumba,
tumbas,
Brasil.
Brasil. Oh my God, thank God you did it with me because that was not good. I need to practice my Brazilian.
You are already a native, my queen. You are already a native.
You're being too kind.
My queen, thank you so much. Thank you.
It's an absolute
so
pleasure.
much.
Absolute pleasure. I've really enjoyed our interview. I've loved every minute of it. I just love you. I promised you what, 3 years ago to do this, and it's been such an honor to speak to you and all the Brazilian fans out there.
And I really hope the community reaches you with all love and all the respect you deserve, because you're such a legend for us. And thank you for being the first to talk to the Tomb Raider fans here in Brazil through the Tomb Raider from A to Z.
Oh,
Queen,
mwah.
thank you so much.
Pleasure, my darling. Pleasure. Absolute
Thank
pleasure.
you. And you that watching me, you don't understand English, there is no worries. There's Brazilian Portuguese subtitles going on here. So you can have an idea and you can understand everything we said right now during this interview. And I hope you, as me and as my legend here in front of me, I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did. And I see you around. Bye-bye.